We're rolling. What's up, guys? Greetings. My name is Jay.
I'm Sinai.
And we're happy to be back with you guys with another episode. We got a really interesting and exciting one for you today. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is Sir Brody. He'll be in and out of the frame, visiting you guys and saying hello. So today, we're going to be talking about how myself and Sinai met, which is super interesting, a really exciting story. So I'll go ahead and start it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we met actually a couple years ago, right? So I was coming back from a journey in India. I had spent a little bit of time in India in an ashram, getting my teacher training done, practicing yoga and meditation and things like that. And I decided to come back to the States. And when I came back to the States, I just noticed how so many people were reaching out for help and needed help, and I wanted to be a helper. Like, it's just in me to serve. And I felt like, you know what? I'm not involved in the LGBTQ community like I want to be. So I looked online, I believe it was, and I noticed that there was a couple groups going on, and there was an event that really sparked my interest, okay? So it was an event downtown, and it was like an evening time event, and there was going to be a showing. And it was going to be a showing about Marsha P. Johnson and about her life and the work that she did in our community and how she was like really at the forefront of that, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and that was such, I had never seen that film before, and so it was very moving for me. I was so moved. Like, I was so moved.
That was my first time watching it as well, yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome.
I was moved. I was so inspired. I was like, I have to do this. Like, I want to do more work in my community and be a voice and be an activist and just like help people and inspire people and really be a voice. So at that film, Sinai was there, right? And so Sinai, of course, doing what Sinai does best, videographer, photographer, capturing the moment, right? And I was like, okay, this person right here, I could just tell by the way that you were dressed and like your energy. I'm like, we need to connect. And I think maybe like we came up to each other and introduced, right?
I instantly felt a connection. We just had like you just meet someone and you feel like you know them. That's exactly how I felt with you.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And we've been friends since.
We really have. I think it was like Sinai said, we were operating on a similar vibration, right? So we could feel that. Everything is energy and everybody's operating on their own different vibration, and we were on a similar one at the time, right. And it's clear that we still are because we're still friends, right?
And we're here making this video about things we care about.
Right,
exactly. To help other people.
Exactly. So it's like we're doing our mission, and it like the baby was like being planted or like being formed there that day, and we didn't even know that it would come to this, right?
No.
Like, wow.
I mean, sometimes you just meet someone and it's fine. It's just like surface, but with us, we had an instant connection and we kept in touch. We kept hanging out and it's a beautiful friendship. I'm so grateful to have you in my life, Jay.
I am grateful too. I really am. We've been on a journey together. Sinai has done some videos for me as well, and we have talks, really intimate talks, and we discuss some really deep things with each other. And I just want to touch bases on that real quick before we even advance on. I want to say thank you for that, because it's very important to have someone where you really feel you can be your true self with and be open and express things that are going inside your head, right? Someone who can kind of relate, and who has been through maybe similar situations or, something close, right? So I appreciate our friendship because it has been a good one. And we've met mutual friends through each other, which has been really cool. That's been cool. Right?
Cool.
And we just done a lot of cool things together, so it's really exciting. And so I'm trying to think, so from there, I know we exchanged information and we connected. I think we hung out for like food or lunch or tea or something after the fact.
We had lunch, and then we met for like some smoothies after that time, and we just really would meet up to like friend date, just have great conversations and keep that connection as friends do. And it's been great. And then recently we decided to put together these videos because we want to continue helping people. Definitely. And also share our stories, as there's great stories out there, and I feel that we have to continue or everyone has to kind of share their stories and create that community. But definitely,
it's important, right? It's important to share your story, right? Because your story can help someone else. Your story can also help you. It's also healing when you share your story. It's your own healing. And it can be healing for other people around you too. And then speaking on friendships, something popped up that I just want to say, like how important it is to nurture your friendships, right? Friendships are relationships, you know, and with any type of relationship, it takes time, energy, and effort, right? So whatever you're giving out is what you will normally get back in. And if that relationship is not even killed, then you know that there's something you need to review, right?
Right.
You know?
I know you've experienced this recently with a friend. And I can relate, you know? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, touch on it. Let's touch on it. I mean, having friendships where you don't feel like it's an equal exchange energy-wise is what I'm speaking on. Now, certain people may have friends for certain reasons, right? But you always want the exchange to be somewhat even. And I don't mean like if someone does something for you, like you pay them this amount of money. Of course, that's like a business transaction, a business exchange, right? But with friendships, it shouldn't be one way. So for example, if you have a friend, or maybe you are that friend who's constantly asking someone, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can I lend this from you? This and that. And you're not giving anything out, or they're not giving anything back to you, then the scales are a little bit not even. So
it's just take,
which can be very depleting and draining on the person who's giving.
It really is.
You know?
Those, I wouldn't say they're, gosh, would you say that's yeah, it's probably a toxic relationship.
You know what?
Friendship.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if you are around people and after being around them you feel drained, like that's an indicator, right? Like, okay, something wasn't right there. Why do I feel drained?
Right.
You want to be around people that recharge you, re-energize you, and refresh you, you know? And also, you just want it to be like an even type of exchange. Now, of course, maybe the scales may teeter-totter a bit depending on what you need, right? Let's say you're in a low point and you really need that friend to help you boost you up. That's what friends are for. They come encourage you, boost you up, you know? But maybe in a couple of weeks you feel better, and then, you know, you're able to give some energy to your friend and compliment them, and you know what I mean? So I challenge you right now, take a second, just tune in to yourself and to your life and just think, are there any relationships in my life where I feel like the scales are not balanced? You know, do I feel like I'm giving out too much to someone and not receiving from them what I need? You know, but this is important. You need to tune in to what you need, right?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of important to know what you need. Sometimes we don't know what we need. You know what I mean? And then we don't even know, like, if this relationship is toxic. I don't even know, but I don't even know what I need. So I think it's important to tune in, figure out what you need, and then do an assessment of your friendships, of your relationships, your family relationships, your business relationships, you know?
Your romantic relationships.
Right. You know, you got to do that. You got to do that. Tune in and check in. It's important, you know? So take that time for yourself. Maybe after this video, you might realize, some relationships in my life aren't serving me anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing about that is that's okay, you know? Some relationships may not be serving for you because you may be growing in a different area than that relationship with that person. They might not be growing in that area, or their path may have ventured off to a different side path, you know, and that's okay. You know, the thing about relationships and friendships is we may not be on the same path for life, you know? And this goes for our relationship right now. We can just speak on that as friends. Like, we've been aligned since 2017.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. So we've known each other about over 2 years now. And right now we're still on a similar path. We're doing these great videos for you all. And I'm hoping that we'll stay aligned on a similar path. But as we continue to grow and as we continue to evolve, we may branch off and find different interests, you know, and our paths may not be as aligned. But you know what? That's okay. Yes, you know, right?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for the time that we have shared, you know, and with all my other friends as well. Maybe someone's watching this now who used to be in my life, or maybe in Sanai's life, and maybe you're not actively in our life anymore. And that is okay. We appreciate the time we had with you. We're very grateful for the time we had with you, you know? We learned a lot too, which is important too.
Because you learn a lot about yourself and the way through relationships. So that's an important takeaway too.
That is very important. Can we touch more on that? Because I think that's a huge pinpoint right there.
I feel that if you take a second to make to really think about all of your relationships, like the people who are closest to you, which would include family members, friendships, and really, really think about how you interact with them, and think about what you give into that relationship and what you take, and how it's received on the other end. I think that's really helpful. It will give you a lot of insight about yourself and about how you treat others and where you need to grow. Because I know I've experienced something recently where I realized that, wow, like I really need to grow in this department, you know, or maybe I wasn't ready for this relationship to go where it needed to go. So I think it's very important to take that time to really analyze those things, because it is important to your self-growth and self-love and self-care.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Because you can really see, like, even if it's your, like, for example, my brother, you know, we used to be really close. We're not that close anymore, but I know that we want to be, and you know, there's that, like, we exchange love in a way where that's accessible for us, because he's very busy, I'm busy, so we try to show love to each other, even if it's very small. But at least there's that thing that you hold on to, like, okay, like, this is just how it is, but I want to work on that. I want to be closer to my brother, or, you know, so you can really have that introspect on the way you interact with people. But I would say for sure it's really helpful to start with the closest people to you, or people who will have your back no matter what. Like, look into that, and start there. It really helps you dissect yourself. I think you just learn so much about yourself through any kind of relationship, how we treat others and how we like to be treated.
You're right. I think that's a great point, and I'm glad you touched on that at the end, how we treat others and how we like to be treated.
Yeah.
Because I heard this saying, and it was something like, it said, basically, like, you teach people how to treat you. So with that being said, it's kind of like how you treat other people can be a reflection of how you want to be treated, and then, like, the boundaries that you set up.
Boundaries.
Right. Boundaries.
Yeah, like, how do you even know, right? Like, how do you know what your boundaries are, right? Well, I feel like a